Wesley playing Isipatana. Wesley in the blue stripes, the dark blue and light blue stripes, the Zamzam Zaki boys, and in a replay of the final from last year's knockout tournament against their arch rivals Isipatana. Isipatana, of course, the defending champions of the knockout trophy, and also came very close to lifting the league title last year, just a whisker's breadth away from Trinity College. And it was really a fantastic effort from them with an under-strength team last time around. Few injuries hitting them also, but we're back to a full-strength side this time, and it's going to be an outstanding game for sure, because this Wesley team, who have now been newly promoted to this A division, will be looking to make sure that their standing counts and that they will want to stay up here and not get demoted back to the B division. Wesley, of course, ending the late 90s with a nice revival of their rugby skills and making sure that they stayed in the A division, then went down in the early 2000s and didn't have much to offer for them, and now will want to make their presence felt here in the A division as we're underway with referee Ushad Carter's whistle. And the first ball is tidied up by Isipatana. Wesley won it back. Terrible pass out to the first receiver there. Knocks it forward, but referee Ushad Carter calls it back. First scrum of the game is going to be interesting. The Wesley pack, traditionally a bigger pack, but losing some of their players from last year. That was a forward pack that actually brought them into this A division. And an early engagement from Isipatana, referee Ushad Carter being a little bit lenient as it's the first scrum. And he's going to reset. Isipatana, under the guidance of Shamli Nawaz, will be very, very mindful of needing to win this hit. And that's a nice engagement first time around. Isipatana. Off the back for the scrum half, that's Premaratna to Surya Rachi. Nicely set up once again. They've retained the ball, but holding on, says referee Carter. And Wesley get first chance of either going for goal or putting this in touch into the corner. Nice move off the back. Like I was saying, Shamli Nawaz is one of the best number 8s that Sri Lanka has ever produced, and he definitely had a hand in Arun Kumar's play last year. Arun Kumar was one of the outstanding players for last season, and he was the number 8 for Isipatana, and this time as well Premaratna, BHU Premaratna, that is at the back of the scrum for the Pathanians, taking that first ball up and trying to link with his number 9 Surya Rache with the new 5-meter rule. Of course, it's all a party for the number 8s, because they have a little bit of room to run before they're encountered by the first defender. So you see a lot more breaking now, and Shamli is definitely going to exploit that. But unfortunately, holding on is the call from the ref, and we see the first chance of points for Wesley. This is the left boot of KRD De Silva. And he's hooked it wide, so that comes across the posts, and the first chance of points for Wesley to draw first blood, going a-begging. Joined in the commentary box by Wesley representative Ahmed, who will be helping us call his team and tell us a little bit more about it as well. First time in the A division after a long time. Good kickoff there by Isipatana. Tidied up at the back. Good counter-attack by Isipatana coming through and making a big tackle. But referee Ushad Carter blows that up for a penalty. Let's see what he says. Time off is called, so he wants to have a chat with the Isipatana player. And that's the big number 1, A.K. Darling. Wonder if he's a relation of Denzil Darling, who was stalwart of the referee society. Referee having a chat with the captain, Tharanath, and Darling, and he gives a penalty, probably for the tackle. Yes, it was a high tackle on the player. A little bit harsh, I think, but Wesley trying to run it out of trouble, encountering a big forward, and that being deemed as a high tackle. So 2 penalties already in just a few minutes. Once again, the left boot of Pereira, De Silva rather. Ahmed, what can we expect from this Wesley team? What do you think the game plan is going to be?
Well, comparing to the last year, I guess that the Wesley team has a different strategy. They'll be going more towards with the line because they were Western Province Sevens champions, and even Isipatana will be coming with their three quarters because all these years, even Isipatana's strategy was the line. Yeah, we can see number 8 Gavin coming through the line and piercing through the Isipatana defense. Then yeah, exactly. That is what they are doing. Less kicking, more ball in hand. All they have to do is just go for the try, get rid of this pressure. It's all about the pressure we are talking about. All the anxiety, the support. It's just a season opener. It is the most important game for both of these teams. All they want to do is somewhat win this first match, and that's how they can give the message to all the other school what the game is all about.
Indeed, that was a good passage of play. Ball in hand, definitely a nice hit up the middle by the number 8 there, creating space for his outsides and getting as far as the try line of Isipatana. Isipatana, of course, scrambling back nicely in defense and coming through. But what was important was the fact that they won that line-out ball fairly convincingly. There was a nice, tidy line-out, and Coach Theo seems to have been working on the line-out for Wesley pretty well. Coach Henry, I'm sorry, that's a big mistake on my part. A little bit of grogginess here on the part of the Isipatana player who's obviously suffered a bit of a concussion. There's no way he should be allowed to carry on if the doctors have anything to do with it. He seems in quite a bit of strife, the player who's coming off right now. Referee says hang on, wait till he gets off. That's a ball over the top, nicely tidied up at the back there. This is great rugby by Wesley, penetrating on the 12-13 channel. They've kept the ball alive once again. This is good continuity. Moving it up the fringes. First receiver, oh, that's dropped cold, unfortunately. But a good passage of play so far. Wesley have camped themselves inside this Isipatana half, and doesn't look like they're going to be moving anywhere anytime soon. Isipatana definitely feeling the pressure. Second scrum of the game, but we've lost a front row forward, I think, for Isipatana, so they might need to get a replacement on. Referee says play on. And that's an early engagement once again from Isipatana. You saw that in the first scrum as well, taken quickly by the scrummer for Wesley. Not 10 meters, says the referee, so he takes it back, and it's another short tap. On to the big forwards. Set up nicely once again. This is good old-fashioned rugby from Wesley. Pick and go. Doubling up at the back. It's available still for the fly half if he wants it. But no, he's going blind. That's a nice ball out, but unfortunately bundled into touch. But no, the try is given. The try is given. Linesman on hand. Let's watch this once again. Lined up on the open side, but quickly moved to the blind side. That was a good decoy run by the number 8, and it was scored. And linesman Kotuwe gets a right on hand to say that the try was indeed scored, and Irshad Kada has no problem awarding that try. So a good bit of pressure for Wesley, leading to a try. That was indeed good play by the Wesley pack, Ahmed, and the scrum half taking the right option.
Exactly, just they did was old-fashioned rugby. Taking the tap, not giving the ball out to the line, just going in, keep looking for the try, and that is exactly what should have been done. It was they have trained. They are out for the kill. Exactly. All this time we just wanted to see this. Wesley on the big screen, Patana going for the try, and yes, they have drew first blood, and we hope this continues. This game is all about continuity. Yeah, a lot of physical strength, and we saw how Wesley is fit. They just threw one guy out of the park. It was just, come at us. They are giving a message to Patana, come at us. We are here to face you people. And yes, of course, all they want to do is just win this game, go home, and tell everyone that Wesley still remains in the league, in this league of rugby. All the traditions, all these over the years Wesley had, we just wanted to see them again. So here we are.
It was the first score of the game by Wesley College, a try in the corner. Not converted though, so it's 5 points to 0. It's a deep restart by Isipatana. They're putting the pressure on the receiver, and they do it well. But Wesley have recycled this ball as they should. Protected it nicely. Knock forward, says the referee, and it's an attacking scrum for Isipatana. It's the first real pressure that has been felt by Wesley in the opening minutes of this game. You're always most vulnerable after you've scored. It's it doesn't matter whether it's schools rugby or international rugby, you're always more vulnerable just when you've scored points. And this is the true test of the Wesley team. The experience that will come from not conceding here will be very important. Quick ball moved out, as Ahmed was saying, to the line from Isipatana. JKH Pereira takes it in. This is Surya Rachi. Tries to find a big man on the blind side. Surya Rachi again. This is the big prop, that's Disanaika. Disanaika makes some good yards. There's room on the outside. This is JKH Pereira once again. Moving flanks. Surya Rachi. Back to the blind side. Bandara takes it on. This is great fast ball from Isipatana. Fantastic work from them to keep the ball in hand. This is about the fifth phase we're seeing. Pereira featuring again. But that's brilliantly turned over by Wesley. Fantastic defense, holding out well. That was a terrible kick though. Didn't go anywhere. Nicely taken by the fullback for Isipatana. That was Ranasinghe. The kick from Madhushan not really going where he expected it to. Bit of a mid-air collision, but the referee says nothing malicious in that, so carry on. But he's given a penalty to Wesley for the Isipatana players coming in from the side into that ruck. But what a great passage of play from both teams. Isipatana moving the ball very fast and managing to get really quick ball out to their fly half. But Wesley's defense being up to the task and managing to get up into the face of the Isipatana attackers and turn over that ball. So that was a good passage of play from both teams. That will be telling on the legs for sure. Time on, says the referee. Got some experience in these Wesley ranks. Sigurds was an outstanding player for them last year. We're looking for a lot from him. That was a good little offload. So Wesley, as Ahmed said, looking to run from everywhere. They could easily have gone for touch there, but chose to run it out of their 22. Sometimes you need to question the wisdom of those tactics, especially in these sapping heat. But whatever works. Quick ball once again from Madhushan. It's not a lot of options on the outside, so they take it back in the middle. And another penalty. Hands in the ruck, says referee Ishad Carter. There's several penalties in this game already. When you compare this to yesterday's game that we showed live on TheScore.lk, that was the one between Joes and Kingswood. A lot of continuity in that game. Lots of play allowed to go on by referee Dimitri Gunasekara. And it would be nice to see some entertaining rugby here as well. We don't want it being blown up for too many penalties, of course. As we see KRD De Silva putting that ball into touch with a big left boot. So That was from the middle of the field, so even though it doesn't look like it's gained much distance, it really was a good thump. This boy will be quite key to your aspirations today and your rest of your season, isn't it, Ahmed? The fly half, scrum half combination.
Well, Wesley's fly half scrum half combination has started from 2011. From 2011, they were playing together. Even last year, they did a fantastic performance, a good job. They were the key in each and every game. The scrum half and fly half. The scrum half has the coordination between the scrum, the forwards, and the fly half has the coordination with the line. So the combination of these two is the most important key in here.
A big bull put in there by JKH Pereira, Hiranta Pereira, that is. Partially charged down, but not quite. This is the Isipathana number 14, Taranath with the ball in hand. Leaves it behind, and it's picked up nicely in open play. There's no penalty there. Well, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure about this. Not entirely sure what that penalty was for. Taranath picked the ball up. There was a player, well, it was for the player being in front of the kicker, and I think the Wesley kicker who got partially charged down, he did get charged down, didn't he? I think he got partially charged down, or maybe not. Can we see a replay of that? Is it on? No replay, I'm afraid, but the referee has deemed that he was indeed in front of the kicker, which is what the penalty is for. I thought he was coming in from an offside position, but there was no tackle. Premaratna breaking off the back, and it's advantage to Wesley once again. And it's another penalty. So 2 penalties in the same minute here. And De Silva will be very keen to clear his lines once again. As you may hear behind me, the cry of Zamzam Zaki emanating from the Wesley supporters. And why not? Because they've been having all the play in this half. Quick line out taken by Wesley, but it doesn't go in their favour as Hiranta Pereira makes a break, wriggling his way out of the tackle. This is the fullback Ranasinghe. Isipathana on the rampage in the 22. Wesley under the cosh. Surya Rachi waits for it. Big forwards forming a pod in the second receiver position. And another penalty given by referee Irshad Kader. Hands in the ruck, he says. So several penalties already. Would have been nice if we could keep a count of how many penalties, but there's just too many. And Wesley conceding a few too many penalties on their defense, Ahmed.
Well, this is school rugby. They are still learning. But, they cannot make silly mistakes. Just like they say in cricket, catches win matches. These penalties win the matches for the opposing side. And Wesley has to know this, that Isipathana are the league defending champions. And they will go for anything because Isipathana, they call themselves kings of rugby. Come on. You are playing against the king. Then you should be something smart. That is not about playing hard. That it's not about giving your 100%, 110%. It is about playing smart. Less penalties, less mistakes. Go for it. Do the right thing. Just score it. And win it. Because exactly.
So it's 5 points to 3 as we see that penalty going over from Hiranta Pereira. He was their key player last season and is their captain, I believe, this season as well. And a lot will rest on him, so Wesley will do well to make sure that he doesn't make too many runs, get too much good ball. But they're quite lucky to come away with only the 3 points, given how much pressure they were under there in that defensive 22 for them. And I agree, Ahmed, that they need to run the ball and they need to do that smartly, but they probably don't need to do it from their own 22. That's something that perhaps they need to rethink at halftime, a tactical switch. Nicely collected there by the Isipathana player. Makes good yards. Ball out quickly to De Silva. He's in the scrum cap in the number 7 position. That's a maul, says the ref, so they'll need to use it quickly. Presented nicely once again. Surya Rachi gives it off to Dissanayaka. They're using Dissanayaka well. But it's turned over and the referee says play on, so that's the second time Wesley have got good turnover ball. Madhushan to De Silva. Gives it back to the stepper who comes inside. Put boot to the ball this time around. Ranasinghe collects it nicely. Tries to jinx his way out of trouble but runs into two Wesley defenders. His forwards are back nicely but can't protect the ball. This is Bandara. Surya Rachi. Back to De Silva. Good leg drive there in the middle of the field by the big front row forward. They've got room here. Is he going to go all the way? Yes, he is. Yes, indeed he is. That's a fantastic try. An outstanding try from the little fly half, Kongahawatta. A 50-yarder. Created nicely by a wonderful run in the middle of the field by the big forwards. Got a great leg drive going there. And created space. Wesley defense overshot the line. One man came out of the line and that's all Kongahawatta needed to score that try. Little show and go. He saw the gap open up. A little dummy and he was through all the way. Swerved past the last defender and that was an outstanding try for Isipatana. This is why they're so dangerous, isn't it, Ahmed?
Exactly. This is what they are being. I mean, this is typical Isipatana rugby. You give the ball to the line and all you see is just running in hands and Isipatana, that's what they say. Yeah. So, I mean, come on, attack is the best way of defending. Guys, you guys seriously need to attack and defend both. But the thing is, look at here. It's a strategy where Isipatana has been playing over the years. Their coach, Mr. Navas, has been training them for years. And all they've been told and said is that, look, guys, you have a good line. Just run the ball and everything will happen just as a flow. And Wesley, they have a good defense, but they should not give up. And they should just play according to their game plan. Come on. Now look at this game with the coach's strategies. Henry, who's a rookie at coaching, I mean, this is his first year with Wesley, right? And Shambri Navas, he's one of the senior coaches. He coached Sri Lanka. So the strategy-wise, I mean, Isipatana has a lead, but come on, guys, you guys seriously need to do something about this. Exactly.
Restart collected nice and tidily by Isipatana. Their basics pretty good, as they always have been. Surya Rachi. Kongahawatta, the try scorer, puts it to his boot. Wonderful kick there. Really the outstanding kick. Saw the space open by going one way, stepped it back the other way, and Wesley are looking like they want to have a little bit of a run out. This is Madhusankar, the fullback, running it out of trouble. Gets it up to the 40-yard line, so Wesley will not be deterred by the try that they conceded. Madhushan to De Silva, who puts the grubber in, tries to turn the Isipatana backs around. Ranasinghe stays on his feet nicely. That's good work by Surya Rachi, sniping on the blind side. That was Himasha on one wing trying to find his inside pass, but didn't quite go to hand. Wesley have taken it quickly and stepped out into touch one more time. Isipatana ball in the line out. Let's see what they do with this. The Wesley line out has been good so far. But it's basic number 2 ball. Nicely won. Kongahawatta spreads it out to Hiranta Pereira with a big boot. But that's also partially charged down, so everybody's onside. But knock on, says referee Kada, and they come back for the scrum. So Few kicks that have been really put under pressure. I think the kickers are still early season blues. As Ahmed said, it is still the season opener for both these teams. So they will need to know that they don't have all the time they want on their hands. And that's the sort of match practice that they need to be able to get those kicks away quickly. But Hiranta will be kicking himself rather than the ball. That's D Silva off the back. D Silva playing in the number 8 position. But running straight into touch. Sigurds was waiting to pick that ball up, but unfortunately crossed the touchline. Wesley scored their first try through good work in the line out, so their set piece has been decent so far. Let's see what they do with this one. That wasn't very good. It was over the top, but nicely tidied up. Lost forward though. Knock on, says the ref, and they'll come back for the scrum. Have they been doing a lot of work on fitness off season, Ahmed? Because they look quite strong.
Well, the trainer who trained us last year is the trainer this year. So last year we had Mr. Jeevan, who was a coach from CR, and he had some good, decent techniques from fitness. And even Henry Aya, he's a national player. He's still playing for the national team, I guess. Yeah. So they all have an understanding about what kind of a role does fitness play in a game of rugby. I mean, these people are playing 80 minutes, just like the international. I mean, they are playing international standards, 80 minutes, 40, a half. And then, yeah, when we are and the thing is, fitness has evolved. Earlier, what they did was, they did a lot of training like 30-40 minutes of fitness training. But now they just take 10 to 20 minutes for fitness, that's all. And if they have a session of 3 hours or 2 hours, they just take 20 minutes for fitness, and that's all. Because now what they're doing is, they have transformed the fitness. I mean, even that's some trend. Fitness has become a trend. So these guys, I mean, even Isipatana has a very good fitness level. Exactly. So that's why they are playing such a game.
Wesley on the counter attack once again. Nice work from them. Coming back on the inside. Trying to find free space on the blind. Madhushan to De Silva. Lucky bounce from him. Now these are the insides, they've got space. Nice tackle by Ranasinghe, but beautifully offloaded to Sigurds. Sigurds for the line. And that's Wesley's second score. Sigurds with an outstanding line in offense. This is the replay. Nice little run there. This was the bounce that set up the match. Sigurds coming through on the blind side, finding a lovely angle on the support. And a great little offload from, that was Fernando who went to ground earlier. And managed to find Sigurds, his on-rushing number 8, who finished it. No chance of catching him there. So great play once again from both teams as we hear Zamzam Zaki echoing around the ground one more time. And the Wesley supporters very happy now that they've drawn level with a pretty simple kick to try and get into the lead one more time. So a great counter-attack that was begun on the left wing by MYS Pereira, fielding that kick from Hiranta, has come back and resulted in a try for Wesley College. As we see KRD De Silva lining up the kick with his left foot. He's missed a couple so far. He'll want to make sure this one goes through.
And there it goes. Yeah. No, says the referee. So that will be 10-10. And that was a good comeback. This is typical rugby. We are seeing here. No, that did not make it. So, such a good comeback from Wesley. Number 8, Gavin Sigurds, a third-year colorsman for Wesley College.
That was a shame that it didn't go, because that's the second kick that KRD De Silva has pulled across the face of the post. The left-footed kicker just not hitting it in exactly the right place, not under his body where he should be striking it, under his eyes rather. He's striking it a little bit too late by the looks of things. Disanaika takes it forward but drops the ball. No excuse for a big man like that to be not securing the ball into contact. So it's a tense game here. This league, as far as I know, is pretty open. St. Anthony's look like they won't be able to make it in this big league so far. They're the only ones who got beaten by a significant margin yesterday. An upset result, Royal losing to Science College by 39 points to 16 or 19. And we had a really close encounter between Kingswood and St. Joseph's as well. So all the teams looking like they're very evenly matched. Madhushan looking for runners. That was Fernando. De Silva once again looking for someone off the shoulder and finds him. Tilakaratna puts the kick in. Fielded nicely by Ranasinghe, who will try to run himself out of trouble but doesn't manage to do so. Yes, he does now. But the referee's pulled play back. Knock on, he says. It's been an exciting game so far. Both teams with the same philosophy, run, and run again. Leaves a lot of gaps open, this style of play, because lots of kicks and chases happen. And you have players out of position, so if you can spot a mismatch, these players are used to exploiting those. Ball off the back by but Madhushan putting his opposite number under serious pressure there. Surya Archie not able to get the ball away, but nicely tidied up. This is Sigurds once again, the try scorer, but the referee's called it back. Penalty, he says, for entering illegally into the breakdown, and that was unfortunate because Wesley were on the front foot. They didn't need to concede that penalty needlessly because they had Isipatana under serious amounts of pressure there. If they stayed and were patient, they might have been able to do a little bit better. Good clearance, try and calm the game down by Hiranta Pereira. Got a man down for Wesley. That's Randhira, the prop on the ground for Wesley. Not sure what's wrong with him. It looks like he might be winded. Get him off, says referee Carter, because he wants to get on with the game, but he's never really that simple. Doesn't look good for Anadira. Sigurds off screen signaling that they'll need a replacement in. So we've had two players go off so far, one for Isipatana, one for Wesley. Slight knocks to the head. Let's hope this won't affect their seasons, of course. Be terrible to be injured and can't not be able to play for the rest of the season. This is Madampe, who's just come on. It's a replacement prop. Saldin trying to win it for Isipatana, but the referee says closing the gaps or too many numbers in the line out. Not sure exactly what that call was, but it didn't go 5 meters. That's the call. So Saldin taking it too far in front of the 5 meter line for the referee's liking. Nice little offload there once again by Wesley. They look to have taken this nuance of the game to the next level. Good hands. Nice inside ball once again to that's Madhusankar. Madhusankar manages to find his man on the inside. Madhushan, this is. Dumming, stepping. This is Sigurds once again. Isipatana under pressure, but they've managed to push that ball back a little bit more. Wesley, they don't have the numbers, but Tilakaratne has the strength. That's a wonderful try if it's given. No, says the referee. Might have been a forward pass there or something really. See whose ball this is. It's going to be Isipatana ball, so not sure how that ball got turned around to Isipatana. Early engagement one more time. Isipatana, this is the third time they've done it. They've got to be careful of that engagement. Captain will be spoken to. It's a new 3-call rule, of course. Crouch, touch, set. And maybe the players are not entirely used to it, but I'm sure they've been told that they need to win the hit here against Wesley Pack that's probably a little bigger, a little stronger, and coached by a national prop forward. So they know what they're doing in the scrum, and Shamli will be wise to that. He would have told his players that you have to win the engagement, which is why they're going a little early. Tap and go. Sigurds goes to ground. Madhushan looks for De Silva. Tilakaratne not able to collect that ball. This is Madhusankar, the fullback, who has featured quite a lot in this opening half. Running across. This is Tilakaratne. Tilakaratne brought to ground, stays on his feet. Penalty for hands in the ruck, says the referee. Taken quickly by Madhushan. Spins it wide. Ball dropped cold there by the Isipatana players, but the referee's brought it back for not 10 meters. They'll want to be patient and do what worked the last 2 times. Set it up nicely, punch some holes, and then send it out wide. Both teams look pretty fit. They're not huffing and puffing. Even these big forwards look like they've got a lot left in the tank. That's turned over by Isipatana. Not a great carry through. That ball knocked forward. Ball taken in by LSD Pires. Interesting initials. Oh dear, this does not look good at all. This does not look good at all. There's obviously a serious head problem here. The boy is shivering. They've got to get the doctor out there quickly. LSD Pires completely lost voluntary control of his legs. Got to get the doctor out there. This is a serious problem. Situm Pires took that ball in and knocked it on in the face of the oncoming defense. Not sure whether he has a history of epilepsy, does he? Well, he's injury prone, says Ahmed, but that seemed very serious. That looked like a knock on the head to the boy, and I really hope that this is not going to be something too serious that he probably won't be able to continue today. But let's hope this doesn't affect the rest of his season. This would be a real tragedy, if so. But it's good to have the medical staff right on hand. And great to have someone who knows what they're doing, you know. He's up. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. That's a huge relief. He's bleeding from his nose. He wants to keep playing, but there's no way a doctor will allow that. I'll leave my seat and make sure he doesn't play if that's something that needs to happen. But a red card has been shown, obviously for his part in that injury. Touch judge probably calling it there. And we might have seen a kick to the head of LSD Pires. Really happy that he's okay. Ball pops up on the Isipatana side one more time. They've lost it. Well, that was a bit of a downer, really. We've seen a red card. A serious injury there to LSD Pires, Situm Pires, who took that ball in. Obviously, there was some foul play on the ground. He was in some real strife for a while. Doctors got out there and got him up on his feet, and that's fantastic to see. Sigurds goes blindside. But Isipatana clear their lines. Less numbers in the line out here. Nicely won at the back by the number 6 jumper. That was Hamidun. De Silva changing direction. Gives it to Fernando to take into the line. But they've come away with it, Isipatana. But Tarana drops it cold. But there was a knock-on first. There were 2 knock-ons. The referee is going to give the first knock-on, which was by Isipatana. By Wesley rather, so the ball goes to Isipatana. So Isipatana will have to play the rest of this game that's about 45 minutes actually, without one player. They've had a red card so far, and they'll really want to make sure they don't do anything silly and give away another player. Was a terrible incident though, and we're really happy that LSD Pires is okay. Short tap for kicking the ball through in the scrum. One of the front rowers from Wesley kicked that ball through. You're not allowed to do that, of course. You've got to let the opposition hook it and not interfere with the ball. Not unless you're trying to hook it yourself, of course. This is Disanayaka. The front row boys taking it up for Isipatana. This is not something that we're used to seeing from them, but good structured play from Shamli Nawaz's team. Hiranta Pereira puts his boot to it. We'll test Madhushankar. And Madhushankar wisely finding touch with that ball. Quickly taken. Hiranta Pereira to Kongawata. Kongawata interfered with. Taranatha's got the ball. So looking dangerous on the counter-attack are the Isipatana team. But remember, they are going to be stretched in defense because of their one-man shot so far. That's not a great line out, but Isipatana come away with the ball. Hiranta Pereira looking for the loop around. This is Himasha on the right wing. And he's bundled out into touch by some solid defending from Wesley. Just drifted across and made sure that there was just no room for the winger, even though he caught the ball, to do anything with it. It's good play by Wesley. They know they've got the numerical advantage now, so that will count in their favour. Won't be surprised to see Sigurds off the back of this one. Yes, indeed. Breaks the first tackle. But catching up with him eventually is Maldenia. Sigurds made a good 10 yards there. Nicely done. Kick put in by Madhushan. Nicely collected by Ranasinghe, who's been pretty safe under the high ball. Good technique. Pick and go by Isipatana. Got to protect this ball. Another pick and go. They doubled up nicely. That was Disanayaka and Bandara. Surya Rachi looking for Kongawatha. This is Taranatha. Taranatha's running into 5 Wesley defenders but manages to stay on his feet. Waits for his support players. Hiranta Pereira access scrum half. That's Hewage at number 12. But they've lost the ball. And the referee is playing advantage for Wesley for a knock-on. And he says no advantage there, so the knock-on comes back to Wesley. But exciting passage of play once again. Few phases put together by Isipatana, and Wesley equal to the task. Their defense really has improved from last year when they conceded quite a few tries in the knockout final to this Isipatana outfit, and then came back through some heavy forwards work. But here it seems it's a much more all-round team this time around for Wesley, so that's good to see. Scrum is wheeled, but Sigurds comes away with it off the back. Surya Rachi wrestles him to the ground. Madhushan puts the box kick in. It's a little deep, maybe too deep. Ranasinghe waits for it, juggles it. Much to the relief of the Isipatana supporters, manages to get it into touch. So it's 10 points all here at the Royal College Sports Complex in this A Division League game between Isipatana and Wesley. We've seen both teams scoring. That's Wesley scoring 2 tries and Isipatana 1 try and 1 goal and 1 penalty.